The curry monster he dragged a girl to hell, he made a man go crazy, but that one thing in common their grandmother told him: do not go at the graveyard at night time. If they do, the curry will get them. He will play with you for a while, and then when he gets tired of you, he will murder you. But that was one boy. He was walking home from the pub he lived in. Darkmoor, it was getting dark. He knew his grandmother's warning about the curry and Noah's lives in graveyards, so he wanted a shortcut to home. So he went across the graveyard, and he heard a voice calling him. It said, "Come and help me." He thought it was someone in danger, so he ran up, and then the curry climbed down to his back, but he did not know it. Into it started speaking violently, and then he prayed to Yahweh, and then Yahweh came down and he helped the young lad to get the curry off. And then what Yahweh touched the curry, it felt a burn and dissolved into dust. A young boy thanked the Lord that night for saving his life. He ran back to his grandmother's house. He told her everything. She told him, "You should not go in that graveyard at night time," but he told her it will be a shortcut, but next time he will take the long road home. Native Americans believed that Pukwudgies were best left alone. When you see a Pukwudgie, you are not supposed to mess with them, or they will repay you by playing nasty tricks on you, or by following you and causing trouble. They were once friendly to humans, but then turned against them. They are known to kidnap people, push them off cliffs, attack their victims with short knives and spears, and to use sand to blind their victims. Pukwudgie is a 2 to 3 foot tall, 61 to 91 centimeters. Being from the Wampanoag folklore, Pukwudgie's features resemble those of a human, but with enlarged noses, fingers, and ears. Their skin is described as being a smooth gray, and at times has been known to glow. In Native American lore, Pukwudgies have the following traits and abilities. They can appear and disappear at will. They can transform into a walking porcupine. It looks like a porcupine from the back, and the front is half troll. Clarification needed. Half human and walks upright. They can attack people and lure them to their deaths. They are able to use magic. They have poison arrows. They can create fire at will. Pukwudgies control Yang Paiwankas, which are believed to be the souls of Native Americans they have killed.
A blue cap is a mythical fairy or ghost in English folklore that inhabits mines and appears as a small blue flame. If miners treat them with respect, the blue caps lead them to rich deposits of minerals, one like knockers or kobolds. Blue caps can also forewarn miners of cave-ins. They are mostly associated with the Anglo-Scottish borders. 2 blue caps were regarded as hard workers, and it was said that they were expected to be paid a working man's wages, equal to those of an average putter, a mine worker who pushes the wagons. This payment was left in a solitary corner of the mine, and they would not accept any more or less than they were owed. The miners would sometimes talk of having seen a flickering blue cap settle on a full tub of coal, transporting it as though impelled by the sturdy sinews. 3. Another being of the same type, though less helpful in nature, was called Cutty Soames 4 or Old Cutty Soames 5, who was known to cut the rope traces or soames by which the assistant putter was yoked to the tub. 4.
Especially unbaptized babies, it is common to be told, "Do not whistle 3 times at midnight, for it is an invitation for the lechuza." It is said the lechuza has swooped down on cars and can travel at the same speed. According to legend, salt can protect against it, and many put salt on their windows at night for protection. If you see it, you should also cuss her out to drive it away, but other versions of the legend say this may make it more mad, so be wary of this one. Tying a rope of 7 knots and hanging it on your door will also protect you, since it is a sign of acknowledgement and respect toward the lechuza. Some say praying can also save you, specifically the Magnificat, a prayer from the Gospel of St. Luke, but it must be recited in Spanish, then also backwards. There are many stories of sightings of the lechuza. The following is Nuevo Laredo. In the 1950s, there was a lechuza terrorizing the town, and the locals came up with a plan to kill it. It was lured out of the trees by using a child as bait. When the lechuza attempted to take the kid, locals fired at it with guns, but only hit its claws before it flew away. The next day, they went to the house of the bruja they believed to be the lechuza, and she answered the door with a bandaged leg. This is a story found on Reddit from the 90s or early 2000s. A 9-year-old living south of San Antonio, TX, in between two little towns called Von Ormy and Lytle, was at home, alone watching SpongeBob. The sun had just set, and it was a full moon. We'll use a fake name. Child heard noises outside and thought it was their dad coming home from work, and naturally went outside excited to greet their dad. However, their dad was not out there. Instead, it was a massive owl. It was sitting on a picnic table across the street and looking right at them. The massive bird was jet black. It stared for another 15 minutes, but then left when the father arrived home. The kid told their grandma about this, and she began praying and doing limpieza, cleaning with an egg, and told the kid the story of the lechuza. The kid did not feel fear, however, and wondered if the bird was there to warn them about something. Not too much later, there was a giant storm that damaged a lot, except the house and the picnic table where the lechuza was sitting.